What is up, guys? And we're back. There has been a little bit of work done off record on a save file for the playthrough. Now, I don't want to leave you in the dark. I did record a full episode, 25 minutes. We just didn't get a lot. Nothing really changed. You know what I mean? This is still the same. Everything's still the same. We just put some money through the ATM. We did a lot of deals. So really, we just earned a lot of cash. The only major difference, and it's not that big of a deal, is we did buy the post office. Okay, so that's all that happened off record. There's not a lot that went into it. I've been sitting on that video for a wee while now, just because I wasn't 100% sure that that's kind of the quality of content that I want to upload to my channel. And I've just been sitting here pondering, what do I want to do? Then I kind of had a bit of an idea. I was looking at I was watching my own video, just proof watching, and then I saw all of this product here, and I was like, this is a lot of product. This is way more product than we need. Instead of playing with the idea of turning off the factory, I just made a video about mixing. Now, mixing is pretty fresh on the mind, and that video goes into depth about why you shouldn't automate a mixing process, why you should focus on production. And now here's what we're going to do. So we're going to utilize on our real save file, no sandbox. This episode, I am going to be putting in a automated mixing station into the sweatshop. Now, we're going to be working this out together. This is something that I have not done in the game before. I've played around a little bit with mixing on that video, as you have seen, but this is going to be the first time that we're really going to break it down. Now, I am going to employ the question is, now we're really thinking. First and foremost, I'm going to unlist my product for sale because I just don't want to be getting texts right now. Greg, I will quickly go shoot off and drop some to Greg because I'm just a bit worried that he's going to surprise me in the middle of me doing something. So as I was saying before, I think it's going to be time to think about, are we going to be employing a chemist or a handler for the sweatshop? Obviously, our bungalow is all maxed out, and I'm not going to be modifying that design to fit any mixing stations in there. I would much rather take the finished product that we're producing at an exponential rate into the sweatshop and do some mixing there. That sweatshop is ours, and it is currently laying completely dormant. So I'm actually a bit excited. This is something new. This is new territory for the game, and it just goes to show, even after 100+ play hours, there is still stuff that you can explore. Great, that is going to be our 2 and only deals done for the foreseeable future. We are sitting on some pretty good cash to get straight into this. So we're looking at roughly 2 o'clock. I think we're going to probably start with at least 2 mixes, and Benji is right here. We're going to give him a little bit of a nudge, and we're just going to access the warehouse as soon as we can. I'll tell you what, I'm pretty hyped to see what we can produce with these mixing stations. He looks pretty mean, He's a menacing guy when he's angry. Like, he is, if you knocked on your door, I don't even put that thought in your head. Anyway, I really like that we can access this as soon as we can. So what we're going to start with, I think obviously we're going to need at least 1 or 2 mixing stations. That's probably going to be a good investment straight off the bat. Now, I don't think we're going to need much else from here. Apart from that, potentially a packing station. I think we're going to do that. Now, actually, this is going to be the time to decide, are we going to be using a chemist for our mixing stations, or are we going to be using a handler? I think I'm going to be using a handler. I don't think using a chemist for the mixing stations is going to be the most efficient. I think restocking the shelves is going to be the hardest, but we can only get 1 handler in the sweatshop, and he has a maximum route option of 5 different routes, which is going to cap us out at a mixing stage of 5. I am struggling to think how we're going to set up an 8-stage mixing station inside the bungalow, inside the sweatshop, sorry, with the limited space that we have in there. I think I'm going to take a bit of a risk. I'm going to go 2 mixing stations, and I'm going to go 1 mixing station Mark II, 1 mixing station Mark 1, 1 packing station Mark 1, and 1 packing station Mark 2. That's just going to give us a bit of breathing room so we don't have to decide right at this very minute. We can always come back for another mixing station if we need to, but this is going to get us a bit of a foundation so we can start to draft a plan. Now, if this is not your first cowboy video, you know that I love a plan. I'm a man with a plan. Something else, okay? Anyway, again, you know it's a good video when I'm just throwing stuff in there. I just feel good about it, just throwing anything in there. Whatever comes to mind, you just put it in. Anyway, let's get into placing some stuff down. Where are we going to start? So I think I'm probably tackling this the wrong way. I think what I'm gonna do is we're gonna get a fresh start for the day. I hope my van is at the bungalow. I'm not seeing it. Where did I park my van? If you know me, you know how much I love that van. No, it's saying it's right there. I'm not seeing it. Yellow Viper, owned vehicle. It is saying it's right here. I'm not seeing my van anywhere. Guys, where is my van? We did not just lose our van, did we? I'm going to be very upset. So, in order to see what's really going on, of course, we're going to do a save, restart. Hopefully this van is going to be out here. Or at least an updated location on the map. Viper van is over there, okay? So we haven't lost it, thank goodness. Alright, let's just go to bed. What's the saying nowadays? Like, oh, he's crashing out or something? I was crashing out about my van there, I swear. I was worried my yellow banana block of butter DHL van was gone for a second. That would have absolutely stifled the entire video. So thank goodness we've got this van back. So a more efficient plan, I think, is we're just going to pull this into the loading bay, even though it's just right there. And I'm going to buy a lot of large storage shelves. Now, if you don't know, I've probably mentioned this 100 times, you can buy things and put them straight into load into vehicle. And that's just going to put it straight into the back. How cool is that? That works at the warehouse. There's a loading bay in the warehouse as well. So you can pull your van in there just after 6 p.m. And you can order all of your phosphorus? All of your acid and phosphorus straight into your van. Very handy. Oh no. Alright, enough fluffing around. Let us decide how we're going to do this. I'm just going to draft a bit of a setup. We got 3, 4, so that's probably not going to work. Though that would be super convenient if it did. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Obviously, I'm going for a goal of 8. We want 8 shelves. I might leave this here just like that for now, and then we can see if we just stagger maybe 2 shelves. We definitely can stagger 2 shelves if we just we leave a little gap like such, and then we step back and we stagger 2 shelves here, and that is 8 shelves that will house all of our mixing product. So whether we have an employee or not is still a very good question. All a chemist is going to do is operate the mixing machine. It's just pressing a button. The chemist is not going to be able to grab anything from the shelves and load the mixing station. And if we get a handler, we can automate the first 5 steps, but anything after that isn't going to be super useful. I think what we're going to do is we're going to place down a mixing station Mark II, and we will hire a handler. I think we're going to automate the first 5 steps. But how we're going to do that is going to be very interesting. Because we have a handler, we can also put down a packing station Mark 1. So that means our handler can then move a lot of product into the mixing station and then package it as well. And all we're going to have to do is do the last final steps, the last 3 steps ideally of the mixing process. Ooh, this is going to be interesting. Again, we've got to give Benji a bit of a nudge. Get back into this warehouse, and then we're going to hire an employee. We're going to send a handler straight to the sweatshop, and we're just going to start experimenting with some designs. Great, so there's our handler assigned to the sweatshop. Do we need anything else while we're here? I think because we've decided on a handler, we can purchase another mixing station. I think that's going to be a good use of resources. Another thing to take into consideration is we can't do any supply orders to the sweatshop, and there is no real convenient way to park the van. We're not too far away from acquiring the barn, so this is a little bit rudimentary of a setup, but I think it's still going to be worth experimenting. So there's our handler delivered at 12 o'clock in the day. Perfect. Now, I am going to do the bed trick. So that means I'm going to buy a bed, place it in the motel, and assign him his bed there. I have received news that is going to be patched in the next patch that is coming out, I believe. So this is only going to be a temporary solution, but while it is available to us, we will use it. So if you're not sure how that works, you just assign them a bed and you got to run all the way over to the motel. I wonder how many times I've explained this in my playthrough so far. And you're just going to click the bed, and then we're just going to plonk a bit of money into his briefcase. No harm done. Okay, so things are starting to get a little bit weird. Yeah, this is gonna be a bit of a spaghetti of a design because we only have 5 routes available to the handler, and we want to maximize all of his routes as efficiently as possible so that the steps required by us is going to be absolutely minimal. Now, it has just occurred to me that my product is already mixed. The single stage mixing that we put in our factory produces already a mixed product. So, because our factory is probably producing double the amount of product that we need, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the first stage of the mixing. So we can split our factory production into 2. So if we go with that expensive recipe, the first stage is bananas, right? So what we can do is instead of having 2 shelves of blue pills, if we put the first shelf as bananas, we're going to split our production into 50% is going to be cowboy, and then 50% is going to be the other product. But that does give us a requirement to mix 50% of everything that factory produces to a higher cost product. My brain. Now, we're not really in any position not to try this. I mean, we don't have a lot to lose. We might as well give it the best shot that we can. The only thing is, we're not going to be able to restock those shelves. Actually, we will be able to restock those shelves. We can feed into those shelves depending on what we want to produce. So if we want to produce more of blue pills or more of bananas, whatever we want the first stage of our mixing to be, that's all we need to restock the shelf with. And if we want to keep an even 50-50, all we need to do is restock the shelves evenly like so. So that way, when he finishes with this shelf, he moves on to this shelf and we get a split down the middle. So that's what we're going to do. So our factory is already going to produce a final first stage of the first stage of our mix, which means we're only going to have to do 7 stages in the sweat shop. I forget we are actually playing the game on this one. This is not a sandbox. Even though we are in the bungalow, we kind of have the resources of what feels like a sandbox. We do need to drop off 20 each to each dealer. So we just turned back on our factory with the new bananas in store, and that is going to give us a new product of Cowboy Stage 1. So that's just going to help us differentiate between the two. Now, because we're coming from the bungalow factory with the product already in our inventory, we're not going to have to automate stage 1. So I'm not going to have to get the handler to distribute it into the mixing stations. That's something we're going to be able to do ourselves. So our recipe kind of gives us a bit of a break. Because we can go add routes, the first option that we need to move is now... Yeah, the first option is now Coke. So we can add Coke straight from the shelf onto the mixing station, and then we can add paracetamol from the shelf onto our second mixing station, and then we can add gasoline from the shelf onto our third mixing station. And this is where we get a bit lucky. Then all of a sudden it cycles back to Coke. So all we need to do is move it from this station to this station to this station back to this station. And then we have 3 more steps left. So just to make it easier on myself, I spent a little bit more money on a couple more mixing stations. And we're just going to select the battery to this mixing station, and then finally the horse juice to the last mixing station. Okay, so it's a bit of a weird little setup, but here's how the design that I've got that works. It goes Coke to stage 1, paracetamol to stage 2, okay, gasoline to stage 3, and then we go break. So this is a break in the cycle. Break back to stage 1 again. Okay. And then we go to the batteries here. The horse stuff here. And then once that goes down, we grab from the mega beans, put back onto this shelf, and then cycle it one more time. I think that's how I'm going to do it. So we're going to assign the handler Coke, stage 1, paracetamol, stage 2, gasoline, Coke stage 1, paracetamol, gasoline to stage 3. Now we don't need to do anything for stage 4 because that's already done. Now we go battery to stage 5. Horse. No, we don't. We don't do that. Because the second I put that mix... Actually, we do, right? Yeah, we do. We go horse to the last stage. Why hasn't he put any Coke on here? Why do I have 2 shells of Coke? So we want Coke, stage 1. Paracetamol to stage 2. 3 is gasoline, stage 4. Why isn't he moving this? Okay, I can hear him coming up the stairs now. So Coke stage 1, paracetamol to 2, gasoline to 3, Don't do anything for 4. We can delete that shelf. And then 5 is battery to the batteries. And finally, the horse stuff to the horse stuff. I'm just going to delete that shelf for the time being. Now, we should have somewhere. Let's write an inventory. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go begin. Man, I wish I had... So he comes in, grabs it, restocks it, which is handy for us if we have heaps in our inventory, because that means we can just take it out and put another one down straight away. It's just a lot of waiting. You know, we have to wait here for ages to do this whole circuit. It's pretty not good. So out comes that product, then we just put it in, remix, and then we'd put another one in, mix that. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sleep, I'm gonna grab the van, I'm gonna fill it full of mixes, I'm gonna grab heaps of the first stage of the product, and then we're gonna give it a real go. Okay, so that factory had stopped working for whatever reason. That is alright. Now we've got a bit of a shopping list. When I say bit of a shopping list, I mean really a massive shopping list. Of course they're not here right when I actually need them to be there. That's so annoying. Okay, here you have it. All the shelves are fully stocked. Everything is assigned. Now we're going to begin the first stage. We're going to put down this stage here, and then I suppose we just have to wait until this is done. Hopefully he walks inside and he's going to follow us, ideally pretty much right to the end. Look, it's a pretty long wait. Now, I think as we go along, like, it should start, the weight should start evening out the more product that we put through this thing. I think, like, the first, like, obviously we're going to wait, yeah, every time, but I don't know if we need to wait every time. Does that make sense? Okay, it pops up. Now we go second stage. Oh, wait. Yeah. We put it down. Put down first stage again. Then we take second stage to the third stage. Put that down. Right? I should have renamed it, but I didn't. So that's just going to be, whatever that is going to be stage 2. And then this is going to be, I'll rename this stage 3. So we can just, oh, I should have been renaming them. Damn it. Okay, so first and foremost, this needs to go back to stage 1. Okay, so we take stage 2, put it onto stage 3. We take stage 3, put it onto stage 1. Take stage 1, put it onto stage 2. And then begin. And then we put more product. No. Because then that needs to go to here. And that needs to go back. Oh, so we've got a relay here. I need more mixing stations. We just found a bottleneck. We can't just go bang, 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 bang. We need more mixing stations. Dang it. Okay. I'm just going to let that cook, and then I'm going to go buy 2 more mixing stations. Now, can we pick up where we left off? That's the most important question. So we've got this. We know this goes now here. Begin, right? And then this goes back here, begin. Then this goes into here, begin. Okay, we're not putting more new product down. We're going to pick all this up once it's done, but I suppose we're going to finish it. I mean, it did work. We did get the finished product for 340, but I don't know if I want to do this process again It's a really weird process the way that I've set it up like this. Yeah, not my favorite way to do this. This is a terrible system. Absolutely terrible. Okay, so we had to simplify it. We just did 7 of our mixing tables, and then we have one rack, 5 consecutively. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're not closing a circuit here, so we can't keep feeding product through. We also ran out of bananas at the factory and started producing normal product, Cowboy Original. So hopefully we got a bit more product here to test with. Yeah, we got 20. Our chemists have not been paid to work today. Hopefully we got some, yeah, we got heaps of money we can get off those guys. We only even need to see Molly right now. So doing a order for the sweatshop, I actually had to pull out my phone and then write down a bunch of stuff. So I'm not a huge fan of this already. And that just makes it infinitely worse. I just collected a buttload of money off Brad and Benji, 15,000 in total. Okay, we've got enough product for me to want to try this. We've got a bunch in the trunk as well if we need some more. Let's just double check our recipe. Coke, paracetamol, gasoline, Coke, batteries, that, and then mega beans, and that's going to complete it. So let's start the slow stage of the beginning. I'm literally just staring at this thing. Okay, so there it comes, and then we put it straight back down, and then we put that down there. And we put more on. Okay, I'm grabbing more product. It's a lot of waiting, I tell you. A lot of waiting. We're going to be here for roughly like 10, 11 minutes. So we take it out of this one, put it onto the next one, put it straight back down, take it out of here, put it straight back down, put it in there, put it straight back down, put more product on. Okay, then we do the same thing. Take it out, move it over one, put it down. Take it out, move it over one, put it back down. Take it out, move it over one, put it back down, put it back down, put more product on. Okay, so it comes up, we take it out, move it over one, take it out, move it over one, take it out, move it over one, take it out, move it over, put it straight back down, put another product in. Alrighty, this is a bit of a process, isn't it? Takes a little bit of handwork to get these things moving, but I suppose once you memorize the process, it's not so bad. But now the only thing is we've run out of handlers, so we need to restock this shelf ourselves. Okay, it pops up, move it to its final stage. Oh man. It is a bit busy. And then we need to grab more. Get out of my way. I'm literally like a handler now. Okay, we finally get to the finished product. We just move that over there. Oh, this is weird. Look, at least we're doing it right. At least we gave it a good go. It's a bit heavy on the fingers. It's a bit of a grind. Like I'm not giving myself much time to think. If you're a mixer, I want to know. Leave it in the comments. And hey, if anyone is still here, I have a idea for a new series on the channel. If you go to the Discord link in the description, there's going to be a Discord that you can upload. It's going to be our Discord, and you can upload your save file to the Discord. And if you want your save reviewed in an episode of a new series that I think could possibly do really well, make sure there's a tutorial in there on how to upload the save file. The permissions are all set up, so you just chuck it in there, and then I will review your setup on video. So we're getting more finished product now. I'm going to eventually have to start running this down to the van. This is just, it's so weird, you know, like it's such a weird process. It just doesn't feel like it was programmed into the game properly. Though there's something to be said for it. Now here is the moment of truth. We produced quite a lot, and we also have more laying around the place. We've got so we produced 16 jars in that time, though we have been over 4 AM for a while. So we've got, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to package all of these into jars. So overall, we had a haul of 44 jars of a premium product worth, where is it? 340, and we would list it for 355. Though the dealers are going to take a cut of 20%, that is always important to remember. Not a bad little haul. Am I going to do it again? Absolutely not. I'm not going to be going through that entire process anymore. That was way too long to sit there and do all of that. But would I produce, once I buy the barn, would I turn the bungalow into a mixing station that is fully automated? Maybe. Maybe. This bungalow is super efficient, as you can tell. We produce jars on jars on jars. I would guesstimate we could probably supply 5 dealers, maybe even 4, with the jars that we've got. So if we can fully automate a mixing process that produces us this, then potentially. But of course, we're going to move on to the next product very soon. So whether it's going to be worth it, that's a different question. So maybe when we move into the barn, we create a brand new design. And that's kind of what I wanted. Maybe a Coca plant in the barn that produces the finished product all under one roof, and then we transport it here for the final stage of mixing. Maybe that's kind of the hybrid that we're going to be looking at. So stay tuned. Things are about to get super efficient. I'm not even joking. Once we refine this process, things are going to get crazy. This video took a really long time to make. You can probably tell the life has drained from my voice by the end of the video. But as always, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out and helps the channel grow. And yeah, turn notifications on if you want to know when the next video is uploaded. Discord link is going to be down below. Make sure you upload your save file to the Discord link if you want it reviewed in a video. Until then, thank you so much for watching. And as always, I will catch you in the next one.